If you are a married federal employee within about 10 years of retirement, your TSP decisions are not just about you. They're about whether your spouse would actually be okay if something happened to you. In the next few minutes, I'm going to give you a simple way to see which TSP choices you can't really make on your own, the spousal rights most people don't realize they're signing away, and the one checkbox that has created the biggest regrets for surviving spouses I've met with. I'm Tom, a certified financial planner who works almost exclusively with federal employees and their spouses. So let's get right into it, starting with why your TSP actually isn't a solo decision. So I hear this constantly. It's my TSP, I earned it. And you're not wrong when you say that. Your name is on the account, your paychecks have funded it over the years, but federal retirement rules recognize something really important. For most couples, the TSP isn't just your retirement account, it's an income stream that usually supports an entire household. That's why federal law gives spouses specific protections to prevent a surviving spouse from being financially blindsided later on. So, what does spousal rights actually mean? Well, simply, there are certain TSP decisions you cannot make on your own if you're married. Now, more specifically, if you choose a withdrawal option or annuity that does not protect your spouse, a survivor benefit that's reduced or eliminated, or if you choose a beneficiary other than your spouse. With any of these, your spouse must legally sign off on it because it's an acknowledgement that your spouse understands what income they may be giving up and possibly for the rest of their life. And in a moment, I'll actually explain why this one decision matters even more once pensions and Social Security enter the picture. So stick with me, we'll get to that soon. But first, let's talk about why these spousal rights actually exist. So I want you to think of spousal consent like a seatbelt. You might be a great driver, you might never plan to crash, but the rules exist to protect the person sitting next to you, especially if they're the one who survives the accident. So in retirement terms, that accident could be a sudden death, a long-term illness, or simply living longer than expected. And that's when these decisions stop just being a box you check on a form and actually something that can drastically alter the course of your life and retirement. Now, here's where federal couples get hurt, and this is where I see things go sideways a lot of the time. The first is when one person manages all the finances while the other trusts them completely to take care of everything. And now there's nothing wrong with that. It's actually very common until paperwork gets signed without a full conversation taking place. I've seen spouses say, I thought I was protected. I didn't realize the income dropped when my spouse passes away. So I'd recommend you go through everything together. Talk through it and make sure that both of you know the options you're picking and how they will affect you both in retirement. Now, the next mistake is making your TSP decisions in isolation. Your TSP doesn't exist by itself, right? It stacks on top of your first pension, survivor benefit elections, and Social Security timing. These aren't separate choices. They're actually all interconnected like the gears in a machine. If one gear turns the wrong direction, it can negatively affect the entire system. And this is why I always ask couples one question. If something happened to you tomorrow, would your spouse actually be okay? And I don't just mean technically survive. I mean, can they keep the house? Can they keep their lifestyle and not panic every time a bill shows up? Because income typically drops after someone passes away. And that part is normal. What creates the fear is the unexpected drop when a box that got checked years ago on a retirement form suddenly means thousands less in guaranteed income for the rest of their life. So here's the scenario that causes the most regret. A federal employee chooses a TSP option that maximizes income while they're alive, but doesn't fully protect the surviving spouse. Everything may look fine until it's not. And then the spouse realizes guaranteed income is lower. Flexibility is gone and there's no rewind button because you can't change anything. That's why these decisions matter more than investment returns, as an example, in many cases, because once you make a decision, it's locked in and very unlikely it can be changed. Now, here's what smart federal employees do differently. The couples who feel calm in retirement do a few things consistently. They plan as a unit, not as individuals, and they ask good questions like, what happens if you go first? What happens if I go first? Or what income never stops no matter what happens? They also coordinate their TSP withdrawals. their pension survivor benefits, and when each of them should claim Social Security. So no single decision creates a blind spot. So if you're married and within 5 years of retirement, here's what I'd encourage you to do. Sit down together and review your TSP beneficiaries. Understand what spousal consent actually signs away. Stress test what your income would look like with one spouse gone. And don't finalize your TSP decisions without coordinating your first pension and Social Security. If you do these, I promise you'll have more control and a much better understanding of not only what's going on, but an understanding of the what-if scenarios so you can be prepared. So again, review everything with your spouse. Make sure you both are on the same page because you don't need to do this alone and you definitely don't want to guess. So if you'd like help in planning your federal retirement, there's a link below the video to set up a call with us and get your free federal retirement blueprint. We'd be happy to meet you and see where we can help. Otherwise, I'd encourage you to watch this video right here, where I show you the 5 biggest mistakes federal employees make with their first pension. Many accidentally give away tens of thousands of dollars in pension benefits without realizing it. So click here to watch, and I'll see you over there.